Hi everyone. This is a humble attempt to introduce Thevaram, Thirumurai, and the stories of few saints who composed these compositions. But what is Thevaram and what is Thirumurai? Who are these four saints? We hear these words alternately, interchangeably. So let's dive a little bit deep to find out more about them. For starters, these compositions were written in Tamil. And Tamil is a language spoken by people in the southern state of India, in Tamil Nadu, and by a sizable population in Sri Lanka, Singapore, Malaysia, and a few other Middle East, Southeast Asian countries. So, to understand Devaram, we have to go back in time, at least 1500 years back. India had a lot of different religions, but Jainism and Buddhism were popular religions at that time. And around then, there were a few people who kind of started a movement called the Bhakti movement. And Bhakti movement had to do with more of a devotion to God. Bhakti means devotion. And so there were people in few parts of India, here and there, who started singing hymns and praises of God. Now, when you talk about Bhakti movement in Tamil Nadu, there were few people who wanted to share their devotion to God with everyone through the form of poetry and verses and a lot of different things that happened in their life. And so this was a very big moment in history, or pieces of moments in history, which helped to revive this devotion to Lord Shiva. There were other devotion or other gods whose devotion was brought back to life. But in this video, we're going to focus only on the devotion to Lord Shiva. And there were primarily four saints who made it possible. They are known as Nalvar. Nalvar is Nal, four, and Var is a sign of respect. So together they are called as Nalvar. Who are these four famous saints? We have heard of the four of them, which is Appar, Thiruñana Sambandar, Manikavachagar, and Sundarar. Now, Appar is supposed to be pretty much the grand old man of these four saints. He lived a long time. And because of him, there were a lot of verses written in Tamil. And then Thiruñana Sambandar, the young boy, the boy saint, who also, in his way, spoke about devotion to Lord Shiva. And then came along Manikavachagar, another pretty popular saint. And the last of the four is Sundaramurti Nayanmar. And so all four of them together form this set of people who brought this devotion to Lord Shiva in the form of what is known today as Thirumurai. So Thirumurai is a composition of 12 volumes, epic volumes. And the first 7 volumes of Thirumurai is called the Thevaram. And now going over the timeline of these folks. So if you see over here between 600 and 700 AD, Thiruñana Sambandar was, he lived, and he contributed to 3 volumes of Thirumurai, which each volume is pretty huge. And he contributed to 3 volumes of Thirumurai in his short span of 16 years. And then we go to Appar or Thirunavukarasar. So he has 2 names. And he again contributed to 3 other volumes to Thirumurai in his vast span of 81 years. And then Sundaramurti Nayanmar, he did 1 volume, which is the 7th volume, in his timeline. And then the 8th volume is by Manikavachagar. Now Manikavachagar, we don't know exactly when he was living, whether it was the 7th century or 8th century, but he definitely lived and he definitely gave these verses to us. And so this is a brief introduction, but to hear more about the story of each of these saints, please go on and see the other videos that I've shared. Thank you.